So hello there and good afternoon to everyone watching live on Twitch. We are here for Formula EuroLeague Division 2. My name is Adam
Yeah,
Burns and also joining me is my co-commentator Matthias. Matthias, hello, how are you doing? Are you looking forward to another exciting installment?
yeah, we're at the Chinese circuit. Quite good circuit to me, and I hope we have some good action for us in this short qualifying. 16 and a half minutes remain. We're a bit late with the stream, but it won't be that big of a problem.
Yeah, as I was saying, I do apologise for the slight delay as everyone is just about to begin in qualifying. Now, of course, just need to make sure I get the settings correctly. Let me know, guys, if you can't hear any sound other than us. I believe it looks like it's only us at the moment, so just bear with me for just a moment whilst I have a look at that.
Yeah. 47 is the first one out. He's almost at the long straight where I probably see a lot of overtakes being done in the race. So that will be alright. Yeah, China is a good overtaking opportunities. Turn one, you can do it if you're brave enough. Braking for the hairpin, the last corner. First hairpin as well, where Daniel Ricciardo made absolutely mega move for possible to 2018 as yeah, as Killer 7 is starting his lap. I will just go on board with him. It's quite a good circuit to me. I really love it because I haven't got the best action most of the time in real life, but on the F1 game it's different. You can take multiple lines to the first couple of corners. You can win and gain a lot of time. You can win or lose, sorry. So you have to be careful with that, and your lap time will probably improve by 2 or 3 seconds if you get a good slipstream down the long straight, which is quite a long one. Skeleton is keep it on the track. It's looking quite fast so far. It's quite a flowing circuit. Yeah, a lot of flowing corners. Maybe only the hairpins aren't really flowing, but the rest of the circuit is. As Killer 7 is approaching the long main straight, and he has a couple cars behind him, but he won't give them a system as there are Ella Compassion and Suzuki, Just Boone and IT are still on the pit lane. Everyone else is on the out lap or on their timed lap. As Killer 7 is braking for the hard hairpin. Quite a good action on the throttle. Now approaching the final corner is trick when you want to go as fast as possible through it. You can invalidate it quite easily. It's good enough for 1:31.8, not the time you could expect to be the pole position time, as just more of Velas aborts his lap. Let's see who's next one to set the lap time. Is probably Ferrari. Sorry, it's Luke Burns with the 1 second of the pace of Killer 7. Corley sets the lap time 1:33.5, so he's again just like Luke of the pace of Killer 7 so far. Labrox goes third fastest as Karen goes fastest right now with a 1:31.6. What can Avesta Racing do the one time? Oh no, he didn't want to race yet. He goes to P6.
Yeah, so apologies for the delay in the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We've only just joined in. Obviously had some technical difficulties as well. It looks like we are okay. Of course, if there are any issues with the broadcast, do let us know in the chat. And of course, if you are new to Formula EuroLeague, you will find us broadcasting all of our races for Division 1, Division 2 and Division 3 live on the Twitch channel. You can watch that live on twitch.tv/Formula_Euro_League. And you'll be able, as I mentioned before, you'll be able to watch all of this Division 1, 2 and 3 live on that channel. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, as the videos are broadcasted a day later, don't forget that you can watch these races live on the Twitch channel. Of course, they'll be on YouTube as well, so make sure to subscribe to both channels. Now, Matthias, of course, getting back to the action in this Chinese Grand Prix. Given the status of the championship at the moment, who are you expecting to be the front runners in this race? Because it's not an easy circuit to get to grips with.
No. Just let me check into the standings. Haven't
Well, with our
right
championship
now,
leader at the moment, really pushing on those harder tyres at the moment. Pushing a little bit out there, watching the back end, trying to make sure that he doesn't make that mistake to kind of lose it in the barriers and qualifying. Last thing you want to do, currently 6th fastest on the harder tyres, as we're seeing Kira in the Mercedes, fastest of all with a 131.6 kilosecond in the McLaren. Second, Nick Pancras in the Red Bull after his impressive showing in his opening 2 races. Has joined the Red Bull team, and of course, impressive performance, getting 4th position in Germany. And of course, as we mentioned, the Drivers' Championship at the moment, this man here, Pleusenbol, about to get underway to set a flying lap, leading the championship by 39 points. And of course, Compassion in 2nd place. A bit further down the order has managed to make some gains on Pleusenbol. Unfortunately, we seem to be running out of time. Of course, Pleusenbol cannot win the championship this race.
Adam, your microphone is a bit lagging here and there.
Yeah, going on with that one. So do apologies, guys. Have to bear with us doing the best that we can with what we have. But hopefully that will improve as the broadcast continues. And if it's not, then obviously we'll have to make some changes in between qualifying and the race. But nonetheless, we'll persevere on as we're with Pleusenbol now, as we go on board with the Ferrari driver, who's on the harder tyres at the moment. So it looks like he's going to try and go longer into this race to try and see if he can optimise his strategy. But as you see that, Matthias, the harder tyres not giving him as much grip as he'd like to have.
No.
And he's only he's only a 10th up at the moment. On his previous time, this comes through the long right-hander, one that's caught out many guys in the past. Is a bit too eager to get on the throttle and not quite able to nail it. Coming into turn 14, the long straight, one of the 2 DRS detection points. Obviously the last one on the start-finish straight. And let's see what Pleusenbol can do. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2 for slow-moving traffic, but he comes through the final corner, tries not to invalidate this time. As you can see, the rear end getting very loose. And he does improve, a 1:32.2, but it's only good enough to get into 5th position. Clearly, Pleusenbol wants to start further up the grid in this race on the harder tyres. And Collie is showing also how difficult it can be in terms of managing the grip on these tyres.
Headcampers on a good lap.
Setcamper now is improved. Yeah, so he's improved a couple of attempts on his lap so far, and he'll be looking to try and get further up. A lot of guys going on for the harder tyres, which seems to be the way to go at the moment. Being a one-stop race, the harder tyres might be the benefit, might be the suitable strategy. But obviously the top 4 currently on softer tyres, so they're going to become quite a handful until eventually those softer tyres come off. But let's see Heckkamper's time as he comes across the line. What does he do? And he improves, but he stays 12th. Stays 12th at the moment. It's 1.8 seconds off the fastest time, which is set by Kerem. 1:31.6, as we've got 8.5 minutes left to go in qualifying at the moment. So Matthias, of course, looking at the Constructors' Championship at the moment, quite an interesting battle developing at the moment. Of course, we have Ferrari, who are leading the standings, but of course we have Red Bull now with 2 drivers in Compassion and Nick Pancras starting to pick up points. So if you are Ferrari at the moment, almost all of their points except for 1 has been picked up by 1 driver. Would you be concerned that perhaps Pleusenbol doesn't have a rear gunner that can get points on a regular basis that might give Red Bull the advantage towards the end of this season in the championship?
I think Red Bull are going to clinch it in the closing rounds. We still have how many rounds left? Not too many. We're now chatting with 3 rounds after this, so I think it could be done with 2 races today, overtaking for the lead of the constructors. So, or his teammate needs to get a good pace in the last 4 rounds. Teammate of Pleusenbol. I don't see that happen quite quickly, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens.
Yes, it's a lot of interesting situations. Let's not forget McLaren and Williams also in the hunt for this Constructors' Championship, and we're on board now with Their lead driver, Avesta Racing, currently third in the Drivers' Championship, still in the championship hunt. However, if Plojabol can outscore him today by at least, I believe, 12-13 points, then he should be able to end his championship challenge. However, Kerem improves on his lap time to do a 1:31.2 as Avesta Racing comes into the pit, so obviously not enough of an improvement. However, sitting in 11th position at the moment, he will be looking to try and see if he can start the race on the optimum tyres. If he does start the race 11th, of course, if you're new to Formula 1 or Formula Euro League, you will know that the aim of qualifying, set the fastest time possible. However, if you qualify in the top 10, you will start the race on the tyres that you set your fastest lap on in dry conditions. Of course, the one man that we're with right now, looking to improve, currently 4th fastest at the moment, Luke Burns. He's a man, Matthias, that yeah, he's on the softer tyre, did a good job in qualifying in Germany, qualified 5th in that race in interchangeable conditions. This is a guy that has been in Formula Euroleague since Belgium and has been very consistent just outside the top 10. Do you think that he really needs to try and get his confidence up and get some points? And do you see that he's improving on a regular basis?
I see good improvements. He's been quick in qualifying, also really consistent in races. In the beginning he had some mistakes here and there, but he's been improving quite well over the past few races. So hopefully he'll be back in the points anytime soon. Yeah, well, we good to see him in the points, hopefully.
Yeah, well, and he's abandoned that lap, obviously went very, very wide at the long turn 13, which catches a lot of drivers out, and of course you want to make sure you get your exit right, especially with the long DRS section, almost a kilometre long, that straight. The second longest straight on the Formula 1 calendar, with the exception of Baku in Azerbaijan, of course. And now we have Nick Pancras, who improves to go across the line and now goes 3rd fastest. Interestingly enough, MDJ in the Williams has just gone 4th fastest on the medium tyres. Now MDJ, familiar to a lot of you that follow Formula Euroleague, will know that he's a Division 1 driver. However, he stepped in to in the Williams team to replace Marcus, who has in turn dropped into Division 3. And of course we had our Division 3 race last night in Bahrain, so for those of you that did not watch that on Twitch last night, how could you, for starters? And second of all, it's live on the YouTube channel and of course on Twitch as well, which is also Formula_Euro_League, so make sure to check that out. And of course our co-commentator for Division 3 doing another good job as always. New to the team as well, doing a good job with Division 3, so make sure to check that out, guys. A lot of good drivers in that competition, and hoping to battle it out to find themselves perhaps on the grid for Division 2 next season. Of course.
It will be interesting to see a couple of them joining. As Matthias is almost at the end of this lap, almost breaking for the big hairpin at the 100-meter board, going a bit deep into the base, but just making it. He is now coming up to the final corner on his medium tires. It's a good last corner, not invalidating it, opens up DRS, it's good enough for an improvement of 6 tenths, and I'll put in a P11, so you have free tire choice.
It's not really paid for him that lap, because he's... Colley's gone into the wall. Oh yeah, I can see there. Yeah, it's not really paid off for him there, Matty's game, because in order to make that work on the medium tyres, he would have needed to qualify in the top 10. He's just missed out. So he's going to have to try and hurry back to the pits and go again. It'll be interesting to see what tyre choice he puts on the next time round. But speaking of drivers going over a different tyre, Plojabol, our championship leader, we haven't followed too much of him in qualifying. Winner of 4 races this season. The most successful driver in Formula Euroleague, the standout candidate to win this championship, and it looks for all the while at the moment that it's his to lose. At the moment he has a 39-point lead in the standings and looks well poised at the moment to clinch the Formula Euroleague Division 2 championship, and definitely a driver that will be sending shockwaves in Division 1 is Jaffa Baboon. Alex Jaffa Baboon goes quickly. Great lap from him on the softer tyres though, Matthias. So it'll be interesting to see how that works for him. Of course, Plojabol only a few tenths up on his own time in the medium, so really he's up against the cosh at the moment. Let's see what his time is as he comes across the line. What is the time going to be for Plojabol? Goes 5th fastest, so a very good final sector for Plojabol. Gets himself up to 5th, and that's I think he'll be pretty happy with that. The delta between the softs and the mediums is around about a second.
He's doing good.
with the harder tyres, another second down on that one. So looking through the field now with 2 minutes to go, guys, let me know who you think is going to be on pole position. Now, of course, we should mention, Matthias, Royboy, the race winner in Germany, did an excellent job in the Racing Point, and definitely catapulted him up the championship, starting from the midfield in that race. And of course, the change in conditions did a fantastic job to win that race. It really was a fairy tale story in this championship, and quite conveniently going to get a lovely tow now from his teammate Just Mortal Veloz in the sister Racing Point on his outlap. So this will help Royboy a lot, and definitely needs to take advantage of the confidence that he'll now have after getting that win. And did an excellent job against Plöschenball, must be said, in Germany, racing with him. Let's see what he can do. Currently 16th overall. He's put on the medium tyres. He's still trying to go for the alternate strategy, although for that to pay off for him, he's going to have to try and qualify in the top 10. Let's see what his time is as he comes across the line now. What is it going to be for Royboy? Go 6th fastest.
2 tenths behind the championship leader, so yeah, so good lap in his pocket.
So it shows that Germany win. Yeah, it shows the German win was definitely not a fluke by any stretch. Now moving further up the order, we've got Kerem now, who's been on pole position for most of this session, now being dropped back to second by Jaffa Baboon. And we'll see now as he gets very loose coming out there. He was very quick in the first sector, so let's see how he goes through, swinging through the long left-hander. You really need to make sure the car does not undulate now as it goes to the right. Make sure the car doesn't understeer. You want to open up the entry to this double apex, which catches a lot of guys out now. Definitely well committed, goes quite wide, and he's lost it. Kerem's lost it, and he's going to have to do well to keep it out of the wall, and he's ruined his qualifying lap. He was pushing very hard there, and unfortunately for him, that is his qualifying lap ruined, as Killer 7 also goes off, as well as Just Mortal Veloz also goes off the track. So looks like
sad for Killer 7.
Indeed it is. So that's his lap ruined, as now we're with Nick Pancras, who's just about to come across the line just before the session finishes. Now we'll have to wait and see if the Mercedes behind him managed to cross the line. Of course, the session does lag, so it looks like Collie managed to get across the line and start his new flying lap. So now with Nick Pancras, Matthias, in 4th position, currently 9 tenths off the pole set by Jaffa Baboon. It's quite a contrast in strategy at the moment between a lot of drivers in the field, a lot of guys in the medium. So let's see what Nick Pancras can do. Can he get himself onto the front row of the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm watching Klausbo almost coming up to the long straight, so keep an eye out for the championship leader. He's now entering the long final straight, opening up everything. Now also DRS and ERS has the full power available in his Ferrari car. It's 1 and 2 tenths up in the sector 1 time, sector 3 time, I think.
Well, while that's gone on,
1 tenth for P5.
While that's gone on, Compassion has just gone 3rd fastest in the Red Bull and the medium, so that's set it. But now we'll see Plöschenball as it comes through the final corner now. What is going to be? He's going to hug it to the right-hand side, not take too much out of the corner. What's the time going to be? He goes, doesn't improve.
So a minutes out on the P5.
Big statement there from Compassion, going 3 tenths faster than his championship rival. But let's see what his teammate can do. Nick Pancras comes through turn 14, the long hairpin, doing well so far on this lap. It's a slight improvement. What's it going to be as he comes through the final corner now, opens it up, try and carry as much speed, a little bit reserved on exit there. Let's see what it is that comes across the line. He goes 3rd, but on the soft tyres, crucially. Yes, so they'll be on the 2nd row. Good for them. As we now see the final times coming across now, we'll see what they are. We're with Bjorn now in the Renault, currently sitting in 12th position at the moment. He's a long way back. And that looks like qualifying is over, Matthias. I don't think there's anyone else on a flying lap. So, quite a mixed up order there, but quite critically, of the guys on the medium tyres, Compassion, 3 tenths of a second faster than Plöschenball.
Only will take longer.
Well, you'd want them to cross the line and end the session, but yeah, as we were saying, Compassion will be very happy with that. 4 fastest of everybody, and that is qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So let's round out the order, because it's quite a mixed order for qualifying, but bear in mind there's going to be a lot of interesting strategies going on. But here we are. Jaffa Baboon managed to nail it on pole position, his first pole position in Formula Euro League on the softer tyres, though, only manning the 130s. Kerem, second place for Mercedes on the soft tyres as well on the 1 minute 31.2. You got Nick Pancras and Compassion, second row for Red Bull, third and fourth respectively. Although Compassion on the medium tyres very much advantage him at the moment. Killer 7, fifth in the McLaren with championship leader Plojabol joining him in on the third row of the grid in sixth. Roy Boy, our winner from Germany, seventh, with Collie eighth in the Mercedes. Labrax in his debut for Toro Rosso, ninth on the grid, and Ice-T rounding off the top 10 in the Renault. So Matthias, what are your thoughts on qualifying? As we see a lot of change in strategy with the medium tyre runners probably will be rubbing their hands together at that, knowing that the soft tyres on this track will be very difficult to hold on to for very long. So you've got to say advantage surely goes to Compassion for getting it on the second row on the medium tyres.
Yeah, that's completely true. The softs won't really last long on this circuit. The Shanghai circuit asks much of the tires, especially in that swooping sector too. So yeah, I think they will be pinning around lap 5, 6, 7, 8, and the mediums could go to lap 10 or even later. Wow, Alex Bomberg says, my last league race I won was FVL season 2 China. I can replicate that today. Wow.
Well, he certainly put himself in prime position for that. I mean, I'm just looking at the strategy guide I'd made myself, actually. And yes, there isn't too much parity between the softer tyres and the medium tyres to start the race in terms of a one-stop strategy. It's really not that much difference. But having said that, the medium tyres should give you a lot more flexibility in this race. And I think what's going to be important for the front three, Killer 7 as well, is if they can look after the soft tyres well enough and manage their pace, which will be easier said than done, with of course the likes of Plojabol, Roy Boy behind them on the medium tyres, then it will give them a lot more room. Of course, both sets of drivers will be going on to the harder tyres, with the exception of Bjorn Heckkamper and Matthias Gamer, who've decided to go very long. But by the looks of it, Matthias, perhaps the medium tyre to hard tyre strategy is the way to go. But we'll have to wait and see. It maybe Alex, Kerem, Nick Pancras and Killer 7 know something we don't. But if it were me, I'd go mediums to hards in this race. What about you?
Yeah, medium start sounds good to me. Good voice crack once again. But yeah, medium to hard is the winning strategy here. And if you're on the soft, I think you could go medium. Soft, medium, or even soft hard if you can stretch them long enough.
Well, of course, the battle will get underway very, very soon, guys. Let us know who you think's going to win. And whilst we're about to get ready to go racing, just to let you know my question of the week, guys, before I forget to tell you. So, because we're here in China, the circuit that's hosted the 1000th F1 Grand Prix, of course, been on the calendar since 2004, and most notably the track that held Michael Schumacher's final win of his career in 2006, his 91st and final win. One question.
Look at the main straight, how all the guys
well, it doesn't really matter in the formation lap. But here's the question for this week's race, guys. So, since the Chinese Grand Prix began in 2004 in Shanghai, there's only been one driver in one race that got pole position but did not finish. Can you name the driver? And can you name the year that this happened? So the only driver to start on pole position in China and not finish the race. Let me know in the comment section who that was and what year that was, and I will reveal the answer later on in the broadcast. So for those of you that don't know, as I didn't introduce myself earlier, my name is Adam Burns, lead commentator for Formula EuroLeague Tier 2. Of course, Matthias here, co-commentating with me as we're about to get underway for the Chinese Grand Prix. Let me know who you think is going to win this race, guys, in the chat. And we're also about to get underway. Turn up the volume now. Leave the kids at grandma's. Get comfortable. We are about to get underway for Formula EuroLeague. Make sure to watch the lights. Look, but do not stare. 5 lights, and it is time to go. Wait for the delay. It is time to go.
Why is it delaying so much?
Racing. And it's a good getaway from Jaffa Baboon off the line. Nick Pancras gets a lightning start from third position, overtakes Kerem and goes to the outside into turn one as the cars all pile into turn one. It's going to understeer, but as you see, Nick Pancras and Alex Jaffa Baboon doing terribly, and that's allowed Kerem to go up the inside of the pair of them, and Kerem recovers brilliantly to retake the lead, but Nick Pancras has got a great run out of turn three. Oh, and Alex has spun, he's in the wall. The winner of the FEL race in Season 2, as he mentioned in the chat, is out. Looks like he's down the back of the field. He's not out of the race quite yet, but there's yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 2 as Nick Pancras recovers and take the lead. Goes into third, Plojabol up into fourth, the championship leader, Roy Boy fifth, Sigvis Ice-T. What a nightmare for Killer 7 and for Baboon off the pole. Completely lost it coming out of turn 2 there. Matthias, what were your thoughts on that start?
Was a good start from
Oh,
Alex.
and sorry to interrupt, there's a Williams that's been spun. MDJ making his debut, been spun out of the corner there in the background. What a nightmare for him as well. It's not what he wanted. There's literally action going all over the place now as we go down the long straight from turn 13 all the way down. Now there's no DRS until after lap 2, but of course that will not stop Nick Pancras swerving left and right, trying to break the toe behind him. With Compassion all over the back of the Mercedes, and Compassion might go for a move up the inside as Compassion almost found himself hitting the back of that Mercedes. And of course you've got Plojabol, his championship rival, and Roy Boy right behind him as Nick Pancras leads the way after lap 1. So Nick Pancras leads from third position off the grid.
Really on the gearbox of LR Compassion. He's now around the outside of turn 1. Compassion
he's
got a really bad exit out of the last corner. He's around the outside. Can he hang on to it?
Oh, it's going to be bold. He's forcing him very, very wide.
Now
but he
should inside of the next corner. No, it's still behind. Maybe on the exit. Has to also watch the mirrors for Roy Boy. Couldn't make the move stick, but was a good opportunity for him.
But of course, crucially in front, Kerem getting very, very racy behind Nick Pancras, looking to try and retake the lead early on. As you can see, the top 5 all line astern, and this is not what Nick Pancras and Kerem will want. They will want to make sure that they manage those soft tyres and stay ahead, because the more that they battle, the more it's going to wear them out, and that's going to play into the hands of Compassion, Plojabol, Roy Boy, Ice-T behind him, and of course the 2 Mercedes running very nicely. Well, sorry, not 2 Mercedes. Labrax on his debut running very nicely, and Toro Rosso Bicoli behind him in the Mercedes in 8th position.
Oh, Ice-T makes a little bit of a mistake on the exit of the small main out of the small straight, but here we have the main straight. Kerem goes all the way right out of the corner. Allows one for Red Bull so far, but he has to watch his mirrors to Plojabol. Plojabol also on his gearbox. Kerem is trying to overtake. Compassion is more. Is he going for it? Yes, he is. Doing a little bit of a kind of switch back here.
Well, you can see how much later on the brakes Compassion is than his teammate, all to a point where Nick Pancras had compromised his teammate, but now Plojabol has taken advantage of Kerem's mistake, as you mentioned, and has taken the lead. But Roy Boy all over the back of Kerem now, looking to try and see if he can make a move into turn 1. Of course, those soft tyres already starting to be a problem for our front runners, so they're going to have a hard time trying those as Kerem goes the inside to try and get Plojabol back. Will he get enough traction? But he's going to be compromised on his exit, which will allow Roy Boy to try and get back at him, but it seems this time no avail. The 3 of them maintain the positions, but right now Red Bull running 1 and 2. Nick Pancras in the lead, Compassion in 2nd place, but Compassion clearly more comfortable in this stage of the race. Will Nick Pancras try and get away, or will he allow his teammate to overtake him to try and run away with the race himself? Because right now you'd have to say Compassion needs to try and clear his teammate, or he's going to get held up with Plojabol right behind them as well. Matthias, what would your thoughts be on that? Would you, if you were Nick Pancras, would you allow your teammate to overtake you at the earliest convenience?
Maybe. He has the advantage of the strategy, his teammate, but he has a Ferrari right on his gearbox, so if you let him by, you've probably also been overtaken by the Ferrari, so I won't do it. As we now got on the long straight, now we have DRS and Nick Pancras has 2 cars in his DRS. Ooh, Plojabol makes a little bit of contact with the Red Bull. Nick Pancras stays in P3.
Oh, but Nick Pancras goes for a bold move at the inside, and I don't know why he's done that, because that's allowed Plojabol to overtake both Red Bulls. Been sent out of shape and is now down to 4th. I tell you what, that was definitely not the right tactic from Nick Pancras. Completely. I don't know, I mean, If I was the Red Bull team boss, I'm absolutely livid with that one. Nick Pancras, new to the team, of course, they're chasing the Constructors' Championship. The last thing they would have wanted to do is hit his teammate and allow Plojabol to take the lead, which he has done. Now the Ferrari driver has been freed to go out at his own pace. And, well, Matthias, what do you make of that incident there? What was Nick Pancras thinking?
Well, probably he was just too late on the brakes, but really too late on the brakes. And yeah, Plojabol took full advantage of it as Björn and Matthias are battling for the final points, and P9 and P10 maybe neither watches their mirrors for Luke Burns. Oh, Björn makes a mistake and that allows Luke to get down the inside for P10. Björn really aggressive, cuts him on, not really fair from him, but Luke is still there. Can he maybe hang on to it and get a final point scoring position? Björn really struggling on those hard tires. And Luke feeling really comfortable on his medium tires, but he's going really deep into the brakes, so will compromise the exit on the next corner. He has now also to watch a little bit of his mirrors to Dani Headcamper in his turn, so making a recovery from, where was it? Not too close to the top runners, as Luke is still at P11. As Compassion and Karam are battling all the way into the hairpin. This allows only Plojabol to get further ahead of them. And he's doing his job, what he's been doing almost all season long. Driving away as IST is really close to the back of Royboy. Now side by side, almost coming to the main straight. Can he get him onto it in the outside of turn 1? It's a swooping corner, no. Now tries to go down the inside, opportunistic move, but it's possible. Cameron retakes P2.
Oh, and Compassion's getting very loose.
But he saves it quite well. Maybe compromises exit to his teammate, but he's still there in P3. I made an overtake stick on Royboy. As in the background, Vesta goes with a big dive bomb and gets damaged and moves up 3 places, but he really touched Icy and he might get a penalty for it. It was a stupid move from the Williams driver.
Well, say touch, he literally punted him. It was almost like going to here and doing dodgems at the moment. Vesta Racing up into 5th place, overtaking 3 cars, but really using another car as a buffer there, and I'm sure the stewards will have plenty to say about that action there. But as we saw, Compassion overtaking Kerem off screen with Nick Pancras going down to 4th. Plojabol getting away at the front, looking like a similar story now with Plojabol freed up from the rival cars, but Compassion now is going to have to try and get after him once again. As now with Nick Pancras in 4th place now, falling away now, those softer tyres really starting to grain on him and fade and lose grip, and now he's going to be under pressure from Vesta Racing, who goes to the inside of the hairpin. Surely will get the move done. Nick Pancras sees him, might try and get a better exit. He's been forced very Vesta Racing holding very honest, and right now we're on board with Nick Pancras just briefly as he dives into the pits. Very sensible decision, as you can see, going very wide there, but fortunately
lap 9, lap 6, sorry.
Yeah, so up an early pit stop, or very early pit stop for Nick Pancras. See a battle going on. You've got MDJ, Collie, Headcamper, just Mortal all fighting for 11th position. There's 4 of them. There's literally battles everywhere you look on the track, guys. And it's a shame we don't have more cameras to see all of this, but it's definitely all going on. There's action everywhere you look now as Collie and just Mortal fighting 12th and 13th position with Headcamper right behind him. Who's going to be brave? Who's going to go for the dive bomb here as Headcamper pulls to the left-hand side, falls very wide by just Mortal, squeezing for all he can, and then some. But man, position further up the field, we've got Luke Burns now up. So Luke Burns up into 9th position at the moment, behind Matthias Gamer, who's holding him up a little bit on the harder tyres. Obviously Luke Burns overtook Bjorn just recently, so we'll have to stay on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, see how his progress is getting on. But Nick Pancras coming out in 17th position alongside Jaffa Baboon, who had that nightmare start from pole position, and it looks like he's in his own little race right now. But with the Alfa Romeo driver now a bit hesitant on the throttle there, not comfortable out of turn 13, but he's got a reasonable enough exit, but he's not in the slipstream. Now he pulls into the slipstream, opens up the DRS, trying to gain on Matthias Gamer. Is he going to go for a move as there's action going in front of him as Royboy's moved up to 3rd place. Luke Burns not close enough this time. But further ahead, Royboy overtaking Kerem to move in further. Kerem bits just like Nick Pancras did, and that frees up Vesta Racing, Labrax and Ice-T ahead. So now Kerem putting on the next set of tyres, so I'm guessing, Matthias, they're probably going to try and two-stop those guys.
He's going for the one-stop, he's on the hards.
Oh, he's gone for the harder tyres. So...
It will be difficult to make him to the end, though. As Nick Pankers got to the medium, so he's doing the two-stop. Is he going ahead of Kermit? Is he going to be close? He just goes ahead of Kermit P15. But he has the advantage of those medium tires, but I think he needs to stop twice, so that will compromise his race. And hopefully Kermit can manage his hard tires.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Matthias.
7th place. He's doing really well, the Englishman.
Yeah, he's doing a good job so far. And of course, further along the field, we've got Avesta Racing at the moment up into 4th position, leading Ice-T and Labrax behind him at the moment. And of course, as this race unfolds, it'll be interesting to see how this race develops at the moment. You've got Vesta Racing now trying to defend from Ice-T, who's got the DRS openers also in the slipstream now, pulls over to the left hand side to try and overtake him around the outside. That should give him the best action on exit as he goes for the move. Vesta leaves it in there, very bold to be late on the brakes and manages to hold on to that position.
Yeah, good defending and good attacking from both. Yeah, Ice-T is still behind, but is he going to try to do it in turn 1? I think he's going to shoot it around the outside, slingshot it. Yeah, Avesta holding him quite hard because he has wing damage and he's being really aggressive on those medium tires to cut Ice-T off. He literally plundered into Ice-T, as you said, while he was overtaking Labrax. Earlier on in the race, but he is still in P4 and he hangs on to it, so he has the pace, but he has to change his front wing into the next pit stop. Yeah, he has damage. Fluisbol is now 4 seconds clear of his championship rival LR Compassion, so he'll be feeling quite comfortable in the lead, I think.
Yeah, he's doing a great job at the moment. Obviously got that opportunity to take the lead after Nick Pancras went for a move on his teammate, which was definitely uncalled for and not really in the spirit of them two fighting for a Constructors' Championship and working together, which definitely compromised him and has allowed Fluisbol to do what he does best at the moment, get in front and lead from the front and get away, and he's doing a good job so far. Of course, can't win the championship today, but will certainly go a long way to making that a possibility in the next race with so few races left to go in the season. Of course, Roy Boy once again repeating his antics and his heroics after the German Grand Prix last time out, in 3rd position at the moment, doing a good job, Roy Boy. Certainly his German place by no stretch was a fluke, and he's doing a great job for Racing Point.
Yeah.
And of course we've got Luke Burns as well, who's moved ahead now of Matthias Gamer up into 7th position. So the Alfa Romeo driver, although he's under pressure from Matthias Gamer at the moment, doing a good job at the moment in this race, keeping his nose clean, making some overtakes, and well inside the points at the moment. Could this be the day where he finally gets into the points? Of course, and of course, looking through the order at the moment, we've got Collie now trying to get into the points. It's all over the back of Bjorn, who's starting to have a train form behind him.
I see her on the outside. What a move. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's absolutely fine. We just missed that, but Ice-T, as you said, has moved up into 4th place. Looks like a great move. Just saw that brief towards the end of it, so sorry guys, I've missed one. And so Ice-T definitely making moves now as the Vesta's pace starting to fall away. Falling behind Roy Boy, Ice-T getting ahead now into 4th place. The Renault team definitely need to get some more points on the board. Second bottom of the Constructors' Championship as Avesta goes very wide there, trying to fend off Labrax, who Labrax in 6th place for Toro Rosso, doing a good job at the moment, and Toro Rosso bottom of the standings. But right now, as Avesta Racing, as you can see on board with Labrax going around the outside of Ice-T, we're going to see where Labrax to get a front row seat. The great move from Avesta to overtake Ice-T up into position, to them two having a bit of a ding-dong battle. Labrax doing a nice job sitting behind them to join them as well, and Toro Rosso definitely need to score points in this Constructors' Championship, bottom of all, and Labrax doing a good job so far as Ice-T goes up the inside of the turn 1. It's going back and forth, DRS playing absolute havoc in terms of trying to maintain positions. And I see really taking 4th position at the moment, Matthias. Good stuff to see.
Yeah. So he's making up some places as he's now trying to go for the final podium spot from Warboy. 1.9 seconds, 1.8 sorry ahead, but I think he can catch him quite quick if he wants to.
And of course, behind them, MDJ and Matty Gamer fighting for 8th and 9th place. Matty Gamer losing out of position. Luke Burns earlier. Now MDJ around the outside, trying to force him into mistake, and he will have the inside at the next corner, MDJ, and that's a very good move done from the Williams driver. So those medium tyres still holding out very nicely, although we're now starting to come to the point where those medium tyre runners are going to consider making their one and only stop of this race. Now of course right now we've got 4 drivers on harder tyres, of which 3 of them started the race, as MDJ's hit the back of Luke Burns there and sent him into a bit of a semi-spin. As you can see, a bit naughty from MDJ. Luke Burns just about recovered, but that's cost him 2 places there. I don't think I'd appreciate that from MDJ. As we see further along, Labrak's going for a move on Avesta Racing. This is for 5th and 6th position. Interesting stuff going on right now as MDJ back to the battle for 7th place now, fending off Matty's Gamer as Ice-T and Avesta both dive into the pits to get those medium tyres off. So they're the first of the medium tyre runners to pit as Luke Burns goes very wide out of the final corner now. And we're now on lap 11 as MDJ trying to fend off Matthias Gamer, who tries to go around the outside into turn 1. Those medium tyres starting to wear away and become difficult, which allows Matthias Gamer to start to come into his own and get back on the pace again. Luke Burns following right behind, looking to try and see if he can find an opportunity and make up a spot here, while the 2 drivers in front are battling away. As MDJ not giving this one up now as he goes to the inside of turn 4. Can he make that move stick? Luke Burns right behind him as well, watching to see what happens, but MDJ managing to hold on to the position. How much longer can he hold on to it though? Matthias is starting to get very interesting as we're reaching the phase now where the medium tyres are starting to wear away, and that's allowing harder tyre runners to come back into their own. As you can see, Bjorn as well in 8th place, really picking his pace up as well now.
Yeah, Bjorn is also moving up to the field in the gears of Luke Burns, who's doing an absolutely amazing job in this Alfa Romeo. But yeah, as you said, the mediums are starting to go down right now. I think they'll spit around lap 12, 13, 14 if they can hold on to it. First of all, extend his lead to 5.2 seconds. He is doing quite well as Hetkamper is going for 9th place and to colleague his Mercedes. He's on the hard tires, so he has a little bit of the advantage. So what can he do? He tucks in behind him and he makes a mistake. Luke Burns goes really deep on the brakes in front of them. Now this allows Bjorn, the 3 guys are into the pits. Flashwell, Royboy and Labras are into the pits. Where are they going to rejoin? Are they going to rejoin in front of Kieran and Nick Pancras? And ICB beats the Ice-T. Look how far ahead Flashwell is of Nick Pancras.
Well, the last thing that Flashwell would have wanted was to come behind a battle like this. Fortunately for him though, he's about 5 seconds behind, so it might not compromise him too much, although we've got 4 drivers on the harder tyres ahead of him at the moment. We've got Matthias Gamer, Luke Burns as well now in 3rd position with Bjorn Hetkamper all to pit. So the 5 guys in front of him. Compassion now trying to go a bit longer into this medium tyre stint, which is quite interesting, not choosing to pit on the same lap as Flashwell. So maybe he's hoping to extend the stint long enough, perhaps. Surely not long enough to go soft at the end. Surely that'd be too much. Probably he's on the hardest. Hetkamper gets very loose there. Coming out of the corner there, almost losing it altogether. But managing to hold on to that position for now. We're coming up to the halfway stage in the race right now. If you've just joined us, don't forget we've got Compassion in the lead, although he's still yet to pit. Matthias, Luke Burns, Bjorn and Hetkamper all to pit. Flashwell in the net at the moment. Plenty of action left to go. It's formerly EuroLeague Tier 2 at the moment. Hope you are enjoying the action so far. Of course, I've noticed there's been an issue with the chat. We're not seeing much activity. Not sure if the chat has had a problem. I know it froze for a little bit, so let me know guys if you are still there. I can see Matthias is definitely still there. Yeah. Messaging me as this race is going on.
I wanted to give those points. I don't know what they do. Maybe give the channel something, so I just have to type something.
Yeah, it's fine. Not a problem at all, but we'll persevere nonetheless. Apologies for any technical difficulties that arise from this as MDJ in the Williams has pitted and is now in 12th position, just ahead of Alex Jaffa Baboon, who's trying to recover his race after an absolute dismal start from pole position. And Nick Genius, thank you very much for letting me know that you are all still there. Just had to refresh the chat, there was an issue with it, but it's good to see that you guys are still there with me. So Luke Burns is battling, and there's a safety car. Should say yes. So TTVI Quicks has had a bad accident just before the final corner, completely lost it. You can see the stricken Ferrari. It is massively. So what an opportunity. Was Compassion waiting for a safety car? If he was, he certainly got his reward now, and that is going to allow him to have a very cheap pit stop and make up a few places. This is also going to play into the hands of Matthias Gamer, Luke Burns, Bjorn and Heckkamper as well. It's going to be very interesting. Of course, Nick Pancras as well was going to have to stop again, as was Jaffa Baboon and Killer 7 most likely, so they're also going to get a free pit stop as well. So let's see what happens. We expect Compassion to dive into the pits now from the lead, and this is the last thing that Plajabol would have wanted in this race.
Oh, see, I think the Compassion is just entering the pits. I think will come out behind, so going to be a close one. He is now in his pit box. He's been stopping now. Who's going to come out ahead? Pluisable exiting the final corner. He is going to be ahead. So no mistake done for Pluisable, but quite an easy pit stop for Compassion there. This is also in favor of Luke Burns. Haven't scored a point yet this season, I think. Where is he going to rejoin? He's going to rejoin in front of the pack, so he'll rejoin in
3rd position.
P3.
Well.
Amazing strategy so far.
Yeah, so that's worked out brilliantly for him. Of course, Matthias Gamer had damage which he had to replace, of course, putting the medium tyres. But as you can see on your screen, guys, Luke Burns, quite a bit of an invested interest in his performance, and of course he's been improving week by week and needs to get points, but now he's currently running in 3rd position. MDJ, who pitted earlier on, moves all the way up into 4th place. Heckkamper in 5th, Matthias Gamer in 6th, and Bjorn in 7th. So the likes of Nick Pancras, who's pitted as well, is now 10th. And you can see Roy Boy also having to make another stop to put on the medium tyres, which has relegated him all the way down into 11th. So Roy Boy would have been in the top 3, but he's made another pit stop, which, I'll be honest with you, Matthias, is a bit questionable, to be honest. I think he might regret that, as now that's put him so far down the order with literally everybody ahead of him not needing to make another stop. Killer 7 decides not to make another stop, which is a bit strange because everyone else behind him has, so Killer 7 might regret that. But what did you make of that strategy call from Roy Boy?
It's maybe he didn't feel good on those tires he had on, so he might put on a new set, but it compromises positions, but it's a safety car and anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, let's not forget, he started the race on the medium tyres, went onto the harder tyres to go to the end of the race, and rather than stay on them like Plajabol did, he's decided to pit again and put the medium tyres. Clearly he doesn't believe that the harder tyres are going to be fast enough for him to maintain a top 3 position, and now he's going to have to do a lot of work to overtake a lot of cars ahead of him, including Nick Pancras, who is sitting in 10th place.
Those tires to the end.
Exactly.
Because the medium runners pit like lap 11, 12, so...
It's now Killer 7. Sorry to interrupt, Killer 7 just pitting as well, as he's realised a lap later than perhaps he should have done that one thing, those tyres are not going to get him to the end of the race, and also everyone else has pitted behind him. So now Killer 7 is going to find himself at the back of the pack, with the exception of Avesta Racing, who, just like Jaffa Baboon's race, completely went to the doldrums there, and he's now at the back of the field. Of course, only one retirement to TTVI Quicks in the Ferrari. Of course, once again, failing to add to Ferrari's points haul. And it seems that the Constructors' Championship battle at the moment seems to be falling on the hands of his teammate, Plajabol.
Yeah.
So as you can see. So it's obviously my earlier question, guys. It seems that I'm looking through the chat, and no one seems to have got it except for.
Ah, check the chat again.
Well, I was hoping you might resist, Matthias, but yes. So might as well, yep, come clean on that one. So yes, the answer to the question: who was the only driver in the history of the Chinese Grand Prix to start on pole position and not finish was Lewis Hamilton in 2007. Most famous race known for Hamilton leading the race and then retiring after beaching his McLaren in the gravel trap, which in turn cost him, or went some way to costing him, the 2007 championship. But as you said, Matthias, safety car is in this lap. So now we're about to get underway, guys, with just 13 laps of racing left to go, with Pleasurable leading the race as he's done since lap 4, with Compassion in second place, his championship rival right behind him now on fresh harder tyres, 2 laps fresher, and of course Luke Burns behind them in third place, easily his best performance this season. Can he bring home some points? This will definitely be his best opportunity of the season to do that, with MDJ behind him, Heckkamp, Mattis Gamer, Bjorn, Just Mortal Veloz, Collie and Nick Pancras completing the top 10. And don't forget, guys, don't forget to like, follow and share to the Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Formula_Euro_League, and of course if you follow us on YouTube, it's Formula_Euro_League. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. As we're about to go down the green flag racing. It's Pleasurable. When is he going to get underway? Is he going to catch and pack in? And he's going to get on the throttle now. He gets to the power as late as he can possibly dare. And we are about to get underway. It's green flag racing back underway for the Chinese Grand Prix for Formula EuroLeague Tier 2 as Pleasurable leads them all into turn 1. Compassion, Luke Burns, MDJ, Heckkamp, Mattis Gamer, Bjorn, Just Mortal Veloz, Collie and Nick Pancras. Ice-T making a move on Kerem around the outside of turn 1. Can he hold on to off Nick Pancras in 9th and 10th place as Ice-T and Kerem do wheels, and that allows the Toronto of Labrax, who was doing a great job until compromised by the safety car, in 14th position as Vesta Racing on his own and makes another pit stop as Pleasurable leads the field now as Collie and Nick Pancras battling for 9th and 10th position. Matthias, what has Compassion got to do to try and overhaul and beat his championship rivals today?
Just stick behind him in the DRS, and he has the best chance on a long straight. But yeah, Nick Pancras almost out of the point after having such a good start in the opening laps. The Compassion just needs to stick behind the Ferrari of Flash, but they're already pulling away. Mike MDJ is already up into the gearbox with Luke Burns. He is doing a mega job.
And there's a big crash. Sorry to interrupt. Just Mortal Veloz has completely lost it out of turn 13. He was having a battle with his teammate Roy Boy and the likes of Collie, Ice-T, Nick Pancras, and that's caused him to smash the front of his car in the barrier and retire. But also going up to the battle for third place, Luke Burns trying to fend off MDJ now, but MDJ has the inside. Are they going to be able to hold it? No, Luke Burns holds it around the outside, but it's a virtual safety car, and it looks like Luke Burns was just about ahead of MDJ, so he's going to be able to hold on to that for now. But yeah, as we were saying, sorry to interrupt earlier, but Roy Boy got up the inside of Ice-T whilst he was battling away with Just Mortal Veloz and Collie, all for 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th position, with Nick Pancras as well. And as a result, Just Mortal Veloz got tangled up in all of that, and that sent him flying into the wall. Definitely not going to be happy with that one. And Roy Boy as a result as well. And Kerem also got caught up at the back end, and he's retired from the session, so Kerem out of the running as well in the pit lane. And we're back underway racing. Oh, and the virtual safety car's come off.
Sleeping.
Yeah, he was caught sleeping. Obviously had to meet the Delta for the virtual safety car, and that allowed Heckkamp to be very advantageous and overtake him, and now he's all over the back of Luke Burns for a podium. Heckkamp was completely nowhere early in this race, and all of a sudden a podium position is literally a quarter of a second away from his grasp right now, as Compassion is right up to the back of the Ferrari of Pleasurable, as Heckkamp trying to go up the inside of Luke Burns, who goes a bit wide there, almost hitting the back of Luke Burns' tyres, and now sent into a semi-spin, and now it's going to be massive. MDJ all over the back of him right now. As you can see, he's ghosting in front of him, is he? No, I'm not sure actually. No, he is temporarily. So MDJ almost driving through at Camry as he goes to the outside. He's going to go for a move there. Very late on the brakes with Mattis Gamer also with him. You can see MDJ trying to overtake Heckkamp, who's on the medium tyres, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. So right now It's starting to get
You're
very
estimated.
interesting now. Everyone all bunched up, everyone jockeying and diving each other for position, and we've got just over 10 laps to go now, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to get very interesting. Who's going to win this race? Who's going to finish on the podium? Who's going to finish third at the moment? Because right now we've got a battle with as many as 6 cars.
He turned up at the P11.
Yeah, he did a great job there, Alex. After.
16.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They did a great job. Nick Pancras also fell further down the field, but Alex trying to recover his race after starting on the pole, having a nightmare start after going in the wall, just about keeping it together in this race, and is now almost back in the points. Excellent stuff from him to see how he is getting on. Haven't given him much airtime, but hopefully he can try and make the move to go ahead. As Colley has gone off the road, he's completely lost it there, and that has allowed Jaffa Baboon to move back into the top 10. What a shame. Mercedes were running 2nd and 6th earlier in this race, and now they're 14th and 16th respectively. It's a nightmare for Mercedes. It's gone terribly for them, but now the battle resuming for 3rd place, the final podium position. Heckkamper all over the back of Luke Burns. Surely we'll have DRS this time around.
Fashion going for it. It is a big dive bomb. He's going deep on the brake. And he has made the overtake stick.
But then behind them, of course, we've got Heckkamper in the DRS trying to overtake Luke Burns round the outside into the hairpin. He's going to try and hold it in there. Goes very deep. He barges him out, barging Luke Burns out of the way there. And you can see Luke Burns not having any of that. And now we're going to end up with a battle with 4 of them coming into turn 1.
On the podium.
Absolute mad, and Matthias Gamer has taken full advantage of this, and that has allowed him to move up into 3rd position. But now Luke Burns trying to get back at MDJ, and he's been forced very, very wide there. And I tell you what, Matthias, that was a bit naughty from Heckkamper there, going to the inside of the last corner, really forcing Luke Burns wide, and Luke Burns did a good job to hold on to it, but now trying to go for the inside. He was very frustrated, and now he's hit MDJ, and MDJ's been sent into a spin, and that's wrecked his race and Luke Burns' race. What a shame. Yeah, and MDJ, that's wrecked his race. Luke Burns getting increasingly frustrated there, ended up going into the Williams driver, sent him in a spin, but what a shame. But now Plojabol, the battle for the lead resumed, with Plojabol down into 2nd place, all over the back of Compassion. Starting to get very interesting now. We'll have to obviously talk about that incident further down the field later on. But right now, Plojabol with the DRS right behind Compassion. He's going to pull to the right hand side, should have much more speed than the Red Bull driver, who can't really do anything to defend, and will tuck him behind. Is he going to try and get back past him? No, he tucks him behind, knowing he'll have the DRS down the start finish lane and will be able to get after him again. Obviously the battle for 3rd place behind him, we've got Heckkamper, Matthias Gamer, Bjorn, Roy Boy up into 6th place now. So Roy Boy back in doing a recovery drive after stopping an extra time to put on the medium tyres, and is now up into 7th position, all over the back of the 2 Renaults, trying to get back into the podium position.
The top 7 is all Dutch. Oh, that's incredible. Look how close Ice is to his teammate in P5. Can he make an overtake? Brittany Rick did it here in this corner with a big dive bomb on Valtteri Bottas, which was quite a good move. 8 laps to go.
And look at this, Matthias. Well, just saying that Jaffa Baboon has just made his way past Roy Boy up to 7th, so the recovery of Alex Jaffa Baboon well in full flow, up into 7th position, taking advantage of Roy Boy trying to fight the Renaults. It's now fallen behind the Haas driver, who started on the pole, doing a great job, and who knows, with just over 8 laps to go, Matthias, there may be a podium on the cards for Jaffa Baboon. We might see some incredible recovery from him if he carries on the way he's now.
This already my driver of the day so far.
Well, he's right behind the Renaults now. He's got the DRS, of course, and he's all over the back of Ice-T.
For the lead. Tucks in behind, once again goes for it, all the way over the curb.
Well, his exit is going to be massively compromised. It was very, very tight there. Good defensive driving from Plojabol to keep it behind. But as you can see, the battle behind for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th position all going on, as Killer 7 has got a time penalty for corner cutting, as Luke Burns has just made the overtake for 11th position, so Luke Burns must be very frustrated after being in a podium position, completely robbed of it after that incident with Hetkamper, and now will have to recover. Only 2.5 seconds behind Labrax. Can he get back in the points? We'll have to see how he gets on as this race comes to its climax. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, with 8 laps left to go, we've got Pleasurable in the lead, Compassion in second place, Hetkamper third, Matthias Gamer fourth, the 2 Renaults of Bjorn and Ice-T fifth and sixth, with Alex Jaffa Baboon, who started on the pole, ended up at the back of the field after lap 1, now up into 7th place with Roy Boy in 8th, 9th is Nick Pancras, and Labrax on his debut for Toro Rosso in the points. So he's done well to get back into the points, but he's going to have to do well to stay there. They are looking strong indeed. As we can see, incident Jaffa Baboon's had a mistake. Alex, and Alex has gone into the wall, and that could be his race over for the second time. Not sure what happened there, just come to the end of it. But Alex Jaffa Baboon, after starting on the pole, the last thing he would have wanted was to go into the wall again. What a shame. And now Pleasurable having to fight off Compassion, who pulls to the inside. DRS this time, surely Compassion, as they bang wheels there, as Compassion up the inside into the hairpin, and Pleasurable cannot defend him on this time out, but he gets a good exit. He might be able to get him back in, Pleasurable, as he doesn't. He tucks in behind, knows he'll have DRS. Surely if he gets a good run, he might be able to get him back into turn 1 now, as Pleasurable pulls to the left-hand side with DRS. He's going to try and maximise his exit and overtakes Compassion, drives right past him. So Pleasurable retaking the lead. This is a very good battle unfolding between these two, and of course we are now 7 laps away from the end. Who's going to win, guys? Is it going to be Pleasurable? Is it going to be Compassion? Our 2 championship protagonists battling it out here, and this could have serious ramifications for this championship battle depending on which way it goes.
All the way down the outside of the exit of the swooping first corner. They make contact.
Yeah, making contact there. The 2 Renaults battling each other hard as Bjorn comes out from behind Ice-T to dive around the inside to retake 5th position. Shows no love lost between the 2 teammates here. Clearly, Matthias, in a lot of these teams, the drivers are not respecting some fair, clean racing with their teammates. They're banging wheels, they're going into each other. They really want to assert dominance in their respective teams at the moment.
Yeah, I like. Oh, Bert and Luke is still in the point, so hopefully he get his first point.
So after Jaffa Baboon's crash, Luke Burns back in the points, but Collie is lapping a lot faster than he is at the moment, and Luke Burns is under increasing pressure. As you can see, the battle for
9th place, something happened to Ice-T, who has damage. Ripstream. Yeah, Ripstream. Hopefully, yeah, you guys, I made the stream work again. I'm a legend. Bjorn is battling for 5th place with Roy Boy. Danny Hetkamper still into the podium with the 4th place. Matthias Gamer. The Pleasurable still into the lead, but he has been right on his gearbox's Compassion. I'm alive, yeah. I have no Wi-Fi problems. Nick Pancras is recovering to P8. Overtook Luke Burns. Oh, Luke Burns almost cutting the whole corner there completely. Ice-T is into the pits. Yeah, watch this battle for P5. With Bjorn trying to defend from Roy Boy for... Oh, Ice-T retired from the session after having a good race. So we have 4 retirements in this session. I know, I'm a genius. Oh yeah, I have to invite Adam. Yeah. Hello. Come on, hurry. Roy Boy still in 6th place. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. It is for, I don't know what car it is. It's Ice-T who left the session. Compassion is still trying to overtake Pleasurable for the lead of the Grand Prix. Luke Burns still into the points on the race. As here in the background of the field is being a little bit of a ding-dong battle for P12. Now the stream is back on, so no worries. Look how close Collie is to Luke Burns. I would just go on board with him. I think Compassion is too far away to make a move on Plausible. As he is, yeah, he is too far away. 8/10 down, or has to make a massive dive bomb. But I don't think he can do that. Great to be back. Yeah, it's back again. Is Collie going to overtake Luke Burns for the 9th place? Switch to the right hand side, left hand side for Luke. Brakes really late and made the overtake stick. Luke really cuts the corner there. Good overtake from Collie there. Look how close Matthias is to Headcamper in the final in the closing stages of this Grand Prix. Adam didn't join the party yet. Plausible is still quite good into the lead, 3/10. He has 2 older lap hearts, but 2 laps won't make a too big difference. Yeah. Look at Nick Pancras is really close to the back of with $1 per day you can save the stream from dying. You could donate on our website. I think you could do that. I think there's been a donate button. Nick Pancras is really close to the back of the Toro Rosso the sister team of Red Bull. Matthias is doing a really good job this race so far. In P4, also really close to the back of Headcamper. As we're entering the final lap, and we'll just watch the battle for P1, as those guys are still really close behind each other. As Plausible enters the final lap right now. Can Compassion make a dive bomb into turn 1? I don't think he can. We'll just have to stick. He has to stick behind Plausible. Now exiting the first couple of corners. I think everyone is quite good in this position. Now let's watch Adam join the party again after fixing his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, sorry guys for the issue with that, but thankfully we've got Matthias on hand to cover for me
Yeah,
at the
it's a
last
final
minute.
lap.
Of course, I've just joined at the most opportune point, so let's get on with the final lap then.
Yeah,
Matthias, lead the way.
Yeah, Compassion tried to do a big dive bomb, but he was too far away into the first hairpin. They're now entering a small straight. Compassion, you can see him pushing. Has more ERS than Plausible. Drifting through the corner. Colin McRae 3.0 as he did it earlier this race. Plausible has to get a good exit out of the final corner. He has lower ERS than Compassion has. It's 6/10 is the gap. 5-1. Now has Plausible the gap to defense from Compassion. Can he hang on to it? We'll go board with Compassion. 4.7 tenths. Is he close enough? I think he is going for the dive on. Plausible is going defensive. He's going to sling it around the outside of the final overtaking opportunity.
Close.
Oh, I think Plausible can have it, or he needs to make a dive on. Yeah, Compassion is too far away for Plausible as almost loses it into the final corner as Plausible wins it with 2 tenths to spare. Is Danny Headcamper going to take his first podium of the season? No, it's Matthias on penalties.
Oh, well.
Björn in 5th place. Roy Boy in 6th. Labraxon is debuted in P7. Nick Pancras recovering to P8. Collie in P8. Sorry, Nick Pancras got many penalties. And Alex still into the points. Luke Burns, yeah, out of the points after scoring lots of penalties. He'll probably be dropping back to quite a while. What a race!
Back into 12 or 13. Yeah, such a shame for him. Obviously, what happened to him in that race. Obviously, that battle with Headcamper really unsettled him, and obviously hitting MDJ afterwards. But of course, that is the end of the race, and apologies again from me for what happened with the stream. Not much I can do about my internet, unfortunately. There's been a lot of issues with my internet providers, which I won't name, obviously.
Yeah.
Legal reasons. But yeah, that is the race, and what a climactic finish that was. Plojobal once again
for the fifth
getting
time.
the victory, and with that win will go a long way to securing the championship. Of course, he couldn't win it after this race, but he certainly can
next time.
After the next race, exactly. He can certainly win it in the next Grand Prix, and of course Compassion will do everything that he can to try it and stop that from happening. But of course, the Constructors' Championship still on for them. So let's go through the order, the confirmed order. So Plojobal getting the victory in the Ferrari once again, his 5th win of the season for them. Compassion 2nd for Red Bull once again. Matthias Gamer getting on the podium once again for McLaren. Did a great job starting 17th on the grid. Great job from him. Hetkamper, very controversial how he got himself in there with that incident earlier on. The stewards will obviously have to have a look at that later after the race, but he will take 4th position in the Toro Rosso, starting from 14th. Nonetheless, a good drive. Bjorn in the Renault, another good recovery drive from 12th position, finishing 5th, just ahead of his teammate Ice-T, but of course, who went further down the order. Roy Boy wasn't able to repeat his heroics and was massively compromised by the safety car. Will finish 6th. Labrak 7th for his debut. Collie 8th. Nick Pancras 9th. And then, of course, that rounds off the top 10 as well.
Alex got P10, I think.
Yeah, he did. Jaffa Baboon, Alex, sorry, I forgot to mention him. Great job from him, but very unfortunate. After 2 incidents, really wrecked his race. Wasn't able to convert that pole position. Of course, we'll never know how he would have done. But I digress, and that is the race, Matthias. So what are your final thoughts on that one? Looks like Plojobal making a huge statement to his competition, and looks very much likely that he's going to be able to wrap up the championship very, very soon after increasing his lead now to 47 points in the Drivers' Championship. He will only need to outscore. He will only need to outscore Compassion by 3 points. Oh, well, not by 3 points, by 5 points, I should say, to secure the Drivers' Championship. Of course, with a point for fastest lap as well. So 5 points swing in Plojobal's favour will be enough to win the Drivers' Championship. Of course, in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari have increased their lead over Red Bull.
Yeah.
After qualifying, it looked like Nick Pancras and Compassion would be able to make a dent in it, but have failed to do so on this time out. So yeah, what are your final thoughts of this race, Matthias?
It's been a really good race, so lots of action as well. Even for the final places in the points, even outside the points, good amount of battles. Also fair racing here and there. Some accidents. I think it has been a really good race. Yeah. I think a lot of those guys can be happy they got points, as it was a chaotic race with Alex starting on pole and yeah, still making it into P10 after 2 incidents.
Yeah, well, no, it was a good job from him. It's just a shame he had those 2 incidents. We'll never know how he could have done without them. But nonetheless, of course, that is another race in the books of Formula EuroLeague Tier 2. And of course, we haven't mentioned it yet, but we've got the Tier 1 race later on tonight at 6:45 PM UK time, 7:45 PM European time, live on the Formula EuroLeague Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Formula_Euro_League. Make sure to follow that for all Formula EuroLeague action content. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, that bit will be out on Monday as well. So all that's left to say is goodbye from me, Adam Burns, and thank you very much to my co-commentator Matthias to save the stream after my internet failed on me. So thank you very much, Matthias, for that.
No problem.
And all that's left to say, guys, is take care. Hopefully we'll see you later tonight, and of course we will see you for the next round, Formula EuroLeague Tier 2, which will be live at the Circuit de Catalunya at Spain. This time next week, Sunday lunchtime. Do not want to miss it. Can Plojobal wrap up the championship in Spain, or will Compassion keep the Ferrari driver waiting just that 1 week longer? We'll see then. Take care.
Have a good day.